The University of South Africa, Unisa. It is almost every other person's number one option for open distance learning. It is the university that makes it so possible and so viable to still continue pursuing your degree, even though you're working, your mom, your dad, whatever it may be, your financial circumstances, whatever it may be. It is one of the most accommodating universities in South Africa. We will be discussing things to consider before applying to the University of South Africa, especially for a Bachelor's of Education. I am a third year student at the University of South Africa. I am doing my Bachelor's of Education in Foundation Phase Teaching. In South Africa, as we all know, we deal with some factors that other countries perhaps do not deal with. One of these are load shedding. Okay, so when you consider studying through the University of South Africa, please be mindful of load shedding. Because the universities has moved to being completely digital, it can be very challenging when there is sudden power outages, when there are like unscheduled maintenance, whatever it may be, when there's 4 to 6 hours load shedding schedules being rolled out. These are all things to consider because the university puts the responsibility on you to make sure that you have the resources to complete your degree. You need to be mindful that because of this, you need to ensure that your study material is not solely dependent on your digital resources. Batteries die, phones die, laptops dies. It's one of those things. It's just something that we deal with. Okay, so my advice to you is stick to the old school method. Write your notes down. If you do need a digital copy, I recommend you use Adobe. I think it's Adobe Scan or Adobe PDF. I'll put the logo somewhere. But then you basically just take a picture of the notes that you've created and it will convert it to a PDF. Okay, so just earlier today we had unscheduled maintenance between 8 o'clock and it was 4 o'clock, and they basically just sent out a message to let us know that if the maintenance is done earlier, then obviously the electricity will be restored. So just to avoid any issues on your side, please make sure that you have at least, if not all of your notes, majority of your notes, especially the important ones, written out. Number one. Number two, you need to consider that it is completely self-study. The lecturers are available for you to email them, but the feedback time, it's not the best. Okay, it's not the best. You need to give at least a few working days, and sometimes something is pressing, something is urgent, and you need a response like now. So bear in mind that even though you do have access to the lecturers, you don't have immediate responses from the university overall. That's the second thing. The third thing to consider is if you are a Nsfas, Nsfas, whatever, how you want to say it, that one. Bear in mind that they do not always let you know ahead of time whether you are awarded the bursary or not. So you could be awarded the bursary at the beginning of the year and get your book allowance, get your funding, everything. But if you are in the middle of your course, like in the middle of your degree, if you're like in your second or your third year, this can pose some challenges because you only have access to Unisa's material once your registration is paid. So you need to make sure that you at least have some funds saved up so that you can pay your registration, and then you have access to your materials early on in the year so that you can plan and you can schedule accordingly. This year, I made a big mistake. I was completely reliant on Nsfas to pay my registration, and it took so long, and I think I only got access to my materials like close to the end of Feb, and now it's basically crunch time because I have to go through all of my tutorial letters. I need to make sure to see the schools for my placements, because you need to apply for your teaching practical placements like way ahead of time. So please bear in mind that there are these delays when you are completely reliant on external sources like bursaries and loans. Especially with Nsfas, there can be a delay with the systems, and there can also be miscommunication between the university and the funding company, the funding scheme. Something else I would say that you should bear in mind, as whether you are a first year student, a second year student, a third year, whatever it may be, I would say try to get a supplement. Okay, I use the ginkgo biloba, the vital ginkgo biloba, when I am studying. So it's recommended to do 2 capsules daily. So what I would do is I take 1 capsule in the morning once I've woken up and I've just like read through my materials, and once I feel a bit more settled and I feel like now I can like get into it, I'll take the other one. Reason being is ginkgo biloba is a really great supplement for me, according to my from my experiences. It's really helped me so much with my concentration, with my memory, and it doesn't really help to take it just when you're about to do an exam. So I would say the best way to utilize it and get the best out of it is to pop your 2 pills at the beginning of the day when you're about to study, so that you get into a flow state a lot sooner, and you can basically be like in your most fit state to retain the information that you're reading through. Okay, that helps so much. It helps so much. Another thing, you have your teaching practice or teaching practical module. Okay, as soon as you have access to everything in the beginning of the year, make sure that you print everything, like print your tutorial letter, print your assessment, print whatever extra guidance, print your assessment 50, assessment 51, print all of it, because that way you can highlight the important stuff so that nothing gets lost like in the middle or whatever, especially because a lot of it can look the same and then it's not the same, and like you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot. So my 2 cents for today's video is, please make sure that you set money aside for your registration. Please make sure that you understand that load shedding will affect you, because we are in South Africa, it's the reality. So you need to make sure that you have a laptop available that is charged all the time, especially during exam times. If your laptop dies in the middle of an exam, there's nothing they can do for you, because they do expect you to be more prepared. So I would say do all of those things. Take your supplement, it helps a lot, and check your emails. Check your emails, take a supplement. Bear in mind that everything is on you. Thirdly, because it is open distance, you won't exactly get immediate responses on everything, and it is your responsibility to plan accordingly. But other than that, I hope you have a lovely year. I hope Unisa treats you well. It is a great university. I feel like it is one of the more affordable options, and I myself am satisfied with my experience so far. It's been amazing. And yeah, stay tuned. Next, I will be tackling teaching practicals as well as assessment proctoring tools that is used in the middle of the exams. So stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in. Please leave a like, a comment, and please do subscribe. To people you know who is considering studying at Unisa, leave a comment if there's anything else you'd like to know. I've been a Nsfas funded student now for 3 years, and I would like to share my experience with the university, share my experience with Nsfas, and also the correspondence and all of those things. So have a lovely one, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.